What's going on, you guys? It's Coach Taylor here, back with another video. And today we're going to be talking about agonist versus antagonist muscles when it comes to eccentric and concentric movement, right? So let's get into the definition of what these words are, right? So shouts out to my client for coming to me with what The Rock says. He said that The Rock believes swears by the fact that eccentric movement builds muscle faster. Eccentric movement builds muscle faster. So we have concentric and eccentric movement. Concentric movement is when you come, for example, up in a squat versus coming down in the squat. That is your eccentric movement. All right. So when we look at the squat, the agonist muscle group is the hamstring. It is the muscle being activated. So that is the muscle shortening as you go down in your movement. So if you were to come down in your movement slower, right, you go down slow, then you're controlling your eccentric phase, right? And then the quads in the squat on the way up, they switch rows. But down, on the phase down, the quads are the antagonist muscle group. So they are stretching and lengthening as you squat down. Now on the up phase, it switches over. So now you're in your concentric movement coming up, where now the quads become the agonist and the hamstrings are the antagonist muscle group. And then protagonist muscles are muscles that assist in movement. So for like the glutes, your glutes, your hip flexors, your brachialis, your iliac crest, like all of those different different muscles of the hips, your low back, all of those assist in the squat. The squat is really a full body exercise, so we can go on and on and on and on of the list of protagonist muscle groups when it comes to squatting. Your core, blase. So we're talking about what The Rock says.
Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?
So does eccentric movement build muscle fast? Well, muscle doesn't know weight. All it knows is time under load. So if I'm controlling or just doing my eccentric movement, am I going to build muscle faster? You're going to build muscle faster than going through your full range of motion at a relatively normal pace, right? You know, you just see somebody in the gym curling all the time, just going through their full range of motion. You know, it take them about 3-4 seconds to curl up and down to do a curl, versus someone who has a partner who is squatting down with them, removing that load, right, as they come up, putting that load back on them for them to squat back down. Now the hamstrings are going to So they're under load for a longer time. But in my opinion, if you control both your eccentric and concentric movements at a relatively slower pace, then I feel like you'll build more muscle faster that way. And that is why I'm doing standing hamstring curls with a resistance band, and I'm going at a slow ass pace. One, because my neuromuscular control is not there, but two, because I'm trying to build muscle. So on my stronger side, my left side, I'm still moving the band at a relatively slower pace than I can when I'm going up and down. So yes, eccentric movement can build muscle. We also call them half reps, regardless of if you do concentric or eccentric movement. So you're doing half of the rep, split it in half. You're either gonna do the top of the rep or the bottom of the rep. And when you're squatting, you're doing the bottom rep, the bottom of the rep. You're going down, or top of the rep technically, because you're going down. The bottom. Yes. And then when it, like, isometric contraction is another form of movement that also can build muscle, where you're in a constant, where your eccentric and concentric movement basically meet, or a load or power or force, the force meets, and they're equal. So if you're pressing your both hands together, it's like Dragon Ball Z when they come together and they just battling back and forth, and they're really not moving. They're meeting each other's force. That's an isometric contraction. So you're keeping that muscle under constant tension, which is how muscle is built. How muscle can be built, and that's all muscle really knows. It don't know how much weight you're actually moving. It doesn't know that you're moving a 5-pound dumbbell versus a 20-pound dumbbell. It just knows that it's constantly working or not. Okay, so shout out to my client for this topic. I hope that it made some sense. I know I probably like rambled or stuttered or whatever a few times, but trust me, the videos are gonna get better. Topics will get a little bit better as we continue adding more to this series. Again, thank you for watching. Have a blessed one. As always, everything is motivation. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down below some topics I should talk about, or I can talk about, or you guys want to know more about. And then I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned for another episode of a different kind of athlete. And again, have a blessed one. Peace.